Dr. Lenny. Welcome to the What If Zuko was, I forget his name, what if he was this man right here? I know that in the one that was before, go check it out. Part one of this was, so the, where we left off, we were going into All Might versus All for One fight. So they so after the pro heroes tried to capture them, hum hum the then All for One hun gets their or gets them first. And yeah. So then they come out as of course Zuko's blood was also contained immortality. So basically they can never die. So basically like they can regenerate, they can do everything else. So yeah. They even had the organs, I'm not gonna say it, but the yeah. Like how a human kind, like a man and woman and yeah. So basically, yeah. So Zuko or so then All Might and All for One do their little fight thing. But All Might was down, but not out. As All for One used his laser attack to basically the basically let me say this, to basically try to kill him. Like All for One tries to kill him by using an attack. But then Zuko comes out of nowhere, deflects it away. Yeah. As he says, that doesn't seem like a fair fight to me, All for One. Let me show you how strong I really get. And thank you for giving me those quirks, but I do not need them any. So, but he actually purged all them, or purged all the quirks from, like, to get away from All for One's, like, basically breaking them off from the All for One's control. So he says that now it's just, yeah. So he used all of the quirks placed into his soul. So basically, yeah. So his body isn't, or his soul isn't ejecting it. So he says, ready to have this fight? As All for One's grinning, like, now. I already knew, or I didn't expect you to betray me like that. First of all, I wasn't never one of you. Your little group, I wanted to be a hero. Just like how All Might. He is my favorite person I respect the most. Compared to everyone else, that's why he's a more respected dude than just a person without hatred. And if that's how you feel, as he tried to command the other two, but they walked aside Zuko, and they told him that the you're not a boss of us anymore, all for one. We are now a free people. We don't need any more support. So now it's time for you to face our wrath. So yeah, they all like go in as All Might is like has his mouth open and like his eyes like he's he they could not believe that as he heats the Zuko, or no, actually they or all for one killed Zuko's body, but because Zuko has so many bodies, because he's immortal, he needed to shed his own skin, like basically how the moth turns into a beautiful butterfly thing. Yeah, or like caterpillar turns into a butterfly. Yeah. So they were like, ha ha ha. So now, what are you gonna? As he gets punched in the face by the original Zuko, wha-bam! As he says, "Did you forget that? No matter how many times that someone tries to kill my body, I always come back even stronger than before. Meet the original Zuko." As he goes in, as he grabs all for one and throws him around like a little rag doll, beating him around and throwing him, crushing him. Yeah, Zuko isn't holding back. No, no, no. He is going full force without him holding back. His body was so buffed up that even like people were like surprised. Some girls are like having bloody noses. And yeah, except for her, because she knows that it's her like father, her. Or actually, let me change that. It would be her brother. So it's basically, yeah, they both are now his brother. Yeah. How does a clone become your brother slash sister? I have no idea. So, yeah. He starts banging around all for one with enough force as he gathered up enough energy into his right hand. Like how he does it, isn't on the one that like instead of doing like that, he used one hand, he keeps it in as he says, say your goodbyes, as All Might, or as all for one dies, by the explosion. Yeah, like how boom. Yeah, like that. As Zuko was, or as All for One, screaming in pain. Yeah, Zuko was basically feels a lot better after he, as his, yeah, his sister was at home. They didn't realize that that, yeah. So basically, Zumi was looking around, and yeah. But when she saw her brother on TV that did that same move, she ended up having a nosebleed because how much, yeah. And of course, it was her brother, so she was so embarrassed on, like, because blood came out, and that symbolizes that she's in love with him. She's in love with her own brother. What the heck? Yeah. So then, when the one other person that was at their house was her. She was at her house, and when she saw Zuko, she was like, she went from being like, and being this to having like nosebleeds. Let me show you what I be referring to when I say that. Zumi is more like this, and the other is like, and more like that, the one that's on top. Because when Zumi heard, or when that girl, the cat girl, when she saw him, she went that. She went all nosebleeds. Yeah, so, yeah, basically, yeah. So, after the All for One fight, Zuko, who turned around, as the his shell that was left over was a bunch of machines, he decides to destroy it. Yeah. So he obliterates it as he, or actually he just he takes his own body to use as a raincoat thing. Yeah. And so, because how big his body was, I'm not just talking about like small. I was talking about like when where he's a giant. So basically, he could go lean all the way over, put his hands. Yeah. as he says, the no, let's do the heroes thing, shall we? As they like basically cleared out the debris, and because he used one finger, he's getting used to his elemental powers things, like his quirk, to be like swift right, swift left. Yeah. So, yeah. So, sorry. I was thinking. So, after it, it was finally time for All Might to decide on who is worthy. If you guys voted for Zuko, you're right. He voted for Zuko. So he walks over as because he's a worthy candidate, because he can handle the positive effects and negative effects on it. So yeah. So he got given, or he gives it to Zuko, and he accepts it, and he trained hard. Like, he literally trained super hard, so his body can handle it. And he's a mortal, so he the soul of it. But actually, after the debris thing, of course, All for One was already dead before. But to make sure that he was actually dead, you know what Zuko and his two clones did? They just like teleported themselves away from everyone. As he says, before I turn myself in, as I have to do this thing. Or, yeah. So then we teleport, or so they teleport to the forest away from everybody. As he uses his paw fruit, or his paw thing. And yeah, three of them using the same move on Zook, or on All for One, on his dead body. And he was crazy enough. Like, they all used it on him. And they actually used the special move called Special Beam Cannon. And they both, like, used it. And All for One's entire body got obliterated. Like, they didn't have a single trace of him. So, yeah. Yeah, so basically he went from being a quirkless person that actually he does have a quirk in his soul, but it didn't pick up on the thing. And then his body got modified to become this big buffed up guy. And then he becomes this really jacked up guy, like really buffed up guy, that caused anyone that looks at him to have a nosebleeds. Like all the girls have nosebleeds. And yeah. except for Zumi, like his sister, and his clone. Um, yeah. So basically, yeah. So then he like comes in, and as he does surrender, and to make sure that it was before All Might gave one for all to him, but the Nezu tells him, this is what Nezu said. No need to turn yourself in. You were purest heart. Or you're such a kind soul. As he turns, looks at Woodsman before, as he walks up, as Woodsman is like, what are you gonna do? As he says, I'm gonna thank you for doing something for me. I'm saying, okay, when you used your quirk to try to capture us, you actually did something that I thank you about. As he hold out your hand, as he gives the destroyed chips, the like computer chips things, but they all got destroyed. As they see, as he tells them that these are ones that made us do things that we don't want to. Like, I did not want to blow up USJ, but I was commanded by it. And she says, yeah, that stuff, you can't bend your neck without trying to break it. But now we're free from it. So we're happy to do that. So, yeah. And Woodsman is like, well, you're welcome, actually. As yeah. So then so what do you want me to do with those villains? I don't mind in picking them up and putting them in prison. Yeah. So then he does do that. So a certain someone walks up to him, and actually it was one with green hair. His sister walks up to him with Inko and Asashi. Hashi. And they both, like, of course, she runs up and gives him a hug. As he's happy that, or she's happy that to see her brother again. As he tells him that that there's one thing that I have to do. Oh, before I join UA. If it's okay with Nezu. As Nezu says, it's okay with me. You'll be in Class 1A. But what is that one thing? Well, see that I remember the quirk doctor lying to me about not having a quirk thing. I actually do have a quirk. It's called elemental manipulation. As his sister says, huh, yeah. And if you do see him, like, when you do meet him, give him a 1-2, like a punch, okay? Because I know that you would punish anyone. Yeah, has Class A, Class B. Says, give him a good 1-2, okay? For us. Huh. Yeah. As they, or as he goes in, and he does the, he looks around. He sees all, or Quirk Doctor says, ah, looks like you know, figured out you did had a quirk. I was lying to you, and you knew who captured you. You yeah, it was you. I'm really ticked off at you right now. So the Nomus tried to like protect the master thing, the Quirk Doctor, but they ended up dying one by one, two by two, three by three. As all for one's original quirk thing was got killed. So did the clone of it. So then, yeah. As he walks up to, of course, Quirk Doctor says, you were the favorite one. Now, when you're gone, as yeah, the Quirk Doctor dies, as a bunch of robots starts to form. From from the like ground, as they like go and try to attack the like, but they, as Zuko is, what did you do after, of course the Quirk Doctor says, after the ran your blood through the cloning machine, I cloned your blood so many times, so all of the clones are under my control, so you can never stop them. Oh yeah, make a bet, boy. Let me teach you, boy. As he did kill the Quirk Doctor off, as he used his own machine, or he used his own soul called to deep connected to the all the other guys, or all the clones of him, as the most of them or all of them didn't obey, as Zuko was, yeah. So the Zuko ends up thinking about it. on it. So then, yeah. But Zuko realized there's one of those could cause the army, but 500 of them could kill the entire world. I know what to do. As Zuko uses his own power, because the controls to control them have been like destroyed, and the lab was exploded, and so there's a hard way. As Zuko used the other two clones, ready, and they're like, "Yep, as they both used, as they both like, they did the same thing. The one that you saw, like, imagine one but they all did that. Imagine three of them goes off simultaneously, all at once. As so they did, all of the clones that were like 500 went down to just one. And yeah. And the one of them was like keeps going to destroy. As he decides, or not him, but the Zuko walks up, because they all had ticking time bombs inside of them, except for his two clones, ones that were one girl, one boy, one. Those two, but the other ones had bombs in them, except for Zuko. So Zuko walks up. He wants to destroy the. Yeah. So he basically decides, how about this? As he punches them, sending him flying backwards. And it's 10, 9, 8, 7. And Zuko knows that he has to go to somewhere as he looks up in space. And no one has a teleport except for Kirikiri, but he's knocked out and he's a villain. But then something triggered into Zuko's body as his right arm, right arm comes out, or like lifts up, as Zuko used teleport. 6, 5, 4. As Zuko takes him, or actually he teleports away into space. 3, 2, 1. Kaboom! Yeah. So Zuko was basically strong as a human. So the final clone died. And of course Zuko was able to basically, yeah. So they did not realize that Zuko is like, as he bounce off of his clone's body as he lands in the water. Sorry. So yeah, then he comes out. He's made it back home to his land. As everybody's like was sobbing, as they were like, no, Zuko died, not the faithful diary, but then Zuko, who goes behind Asashi because Asashi was there, as he spooked his father out. Oh, oh, yeah. So then he says, "I'm back, folks." As they're like, "What?" As their jaws dropped. Yeah. So then after that, he got accepted to UA, and he does the like test things with the other two people. Sorry. So yeah, and of course he still has one for all. As All Might thought he was dead too, but then yeah. So then a girl with pointy ears, the like those ears, comes up behind him, hugs him, as she says this: "I missed you." As yeah, she literally said that to him, and I just wanted to throw somebody in this order so that I don't have to say. So yeah. So then she ends up getting like dating him. And then it was finally time for them to get married. And so they got married. And I'm skipping the overhaul fight thing. It still happens, but not as epic as the what they went through with whole like all for one tire thing. But Zuko was basically strong minded. So yeah, he has his own kids that are immortal, and they have the same thing. So they have soul-based abilities. And the kids are like this. And these two. So, yeah. Robin is on the right in this alternate timeline. I'm not talking about the One Piece Robin. This is a different Robin compared to her. So, yeah. So she ends up got married to a other kid. So, and we have Zuko Jr. That's his name. He looks so much like his father. It's hilarious. And of course his Zuko's clones. Like, of course, she gets married to Todoroki and Bakugo. And you know what he gets married to? Omo and Ochako. Yeah. So basically, yeah. And when I was doing this what ifs like series thing, it was what if, or so I was watching the Would You Rather, and it said, would you rather be stuck in a room with Grapefruit Kid, this one, for 24 hours, or be stuck in a room with All For One, y'all know who All For One is, this guy right here. So, yeah, for 24 hours. This is gonna be my opinion. So, I already did the what if, so this is the, like, this is extra part, so this is just a blooper one. So, I would have had to choose to be with or like All For One, be stuck in a room with All For One. And of course, I know that he probably gets more information about the students and the whole world thing. But I would not, or it's a lot better than talking about, like, or like when he talks about women thing, like touching them and all that stuff. Yeah, because if I had to get stuck in the room with the Grapefruit Kid and give me 2 seconds to kill him, because he would probably drive me upset, kind of like madness. But it's just my opinion, so. And overhaul might, or not, All For One might end up talking about quirks. Like, what do you want for a quirk? Well, if we're stuck here together, probably let's talk more about each other's. Okay. So, I know a lot about you. No, All For One. So, yeah. So we would visit more. And, yeah. And I'm already, like, I would ask him a bunch of questions, and if he had to turn Zuko into a Nomu, would he do it, and all that stuff. So, yeah. This is a would you rather question. Ready? Would you rather be stuck in a room with her for 10 days or be stuck in a room with and um I was gonna say Mushroom Girl, but with, let's say, Zuko. Be stuck with Zuko for 10 days. Like, yeah. I was gonna say, like, Midnight and or Mr. Ozawa thing, but I was like, nah. So, tell me in the comments below. I'll read them after this what if. So yeah. And how do you guys feel if I do, like, for tomorrow, what if? What if Zuko was switched bodies with All for One? Like, literally, like Peter Parker, hers, and Dr. Octopus thing. And where they, but instead of like full control of his body, Zuko would have been like, so it would be confusing, but I will definitely do it. And if this video gets 3 likes on it. If not, I'll go back to, I'll do the what if Deku had trap tricks her as his girlfriend. Yeah. But you're all probably curious of what this BANNER thing. Oh, it's just a, if it's a like weird thing, don't worry about it. It's basically, I was trying to figure out, or I was testing something out about the if. Here, I'll just use this. You know how, like, some characters from one episodes, like, goes into someone else's episodes? Like a crossover thing. Well, my very first one that I did was the Harley Quinn and marries Zuko. Oh. And what do I get? Her. Yeah. So don't ask me how the 2 of them turns into that. So, what would be, or if you had to choose between Zuko, who becomes, or who would you choose for Zuko? Like, tell me in the comments below, because I tried my best. So peace out, y'all. So bye bye.